Tammuz, the 17th day of Tammuz. And then the end of the 3 weeks is which day? Tisha B'Av. That those 2 days are going to be Yom Tov. They're going to be great festive days, and all the days in between are going to be Chol Moed. There's another opinion that Tisha B'Av will be the first Yom Tov, and the 17th of Av will be the end of the Yom Tov, and all the other days will be Chol Moed, the rest of the year. So anyway, you look at it, great days are coming. Very, very exciting days are coming. And therefore, this week we're going to speak a lot about Mashiach, because a very, very auspicious time. Like Rabbi Ro was speaking earlier, is that it's a time that the pain of this time is a time that can tune us in, that we can become totally sensitized through the pain to the mission. And the mission is such that we want Mashiach to come. The mission is such that we're so much yearning for days of peace, days of bounty, days of goodness to fill the world, that during this time you could tap in a very, very profound way to that peace. So I want to dedicate this time as we're going through the sugyas of Mashiach. And the Rambam teaches us, Afal pisha yitmamea, im kol ze achak eloi b'chol yom sheyovoi, that even though that Mashiach has not yet come, I wait and I yearn. And the waiting is not like waiting at a bus stop. The waiting means I'm anticipating and I'm doing all the things that will bring Mashiach to come. So I want to tell you an amazing story from the Chofetz Chaim. Schusig and Aleinu, the great Chofetz Chaim. So, and shalom to all of our friends around the world, wonderful to have you. So the Chofetz Chaim said something very, very beautiful. The Chofetz Chaim said like this. We're in the Shahakol. The Chofetz Chaim said, so there was somebody that he knew that he was going to make a big party. And he invited all these big dignitaries, all the choshev people around, to come to his house for a big party. Big party. And he told them that the party is going to be next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. And he invited mamish, big, big people, very great leaders of state, heads of state, to his house, 8 o'clock for a big party. So at 8 o'clock, everybody comes to his house, and he opens the door. So wonderful to have you here. Welcome, come on into the party. And they all come to the house, and they notice something strange. They notice that there's no tables, there's no food, there's no chairs, there's nothing really in the house. And he gets them all together, and he's like, I'm so happy you're here. I'm going to go shopping now and buy food for the party. And I'm going to go to IKEA, get some furniture so we have a place to sit. So I'll see you guys soon. And it's going to be great. So the Chofetz Chaim says, is there a bigger tippish, a bigger fool than this? That's not the way you run a party. The way that you run a party is first you get everything ready. And then when everybody shows up, everybody's ready for the party. They're ready to have a wonderful time together. You don't invite everybody, all these important figures, and then they come to your house and you're like, I still haven't done anything. So the Chofetz Chaim says, all of us are davening for Mashiach. We're davening the Mashiach should come. So Mashiach's going to come. And then we're going to tell Mashiach, oh, by the way, I got to go out, fix my anger problems. I have to go out, fix this thing. I have to go and actually learn some Torah that I haven't really done anything. I haven't prepared myself for your coming. So he says, what kind of foolishness? We're davening every day for Mashiach, but are we sitting shtagging in Eshet Torah, learning Tosfos? Are we shtagging? Are we growing? Are we building the inner character traits that when Mashiach comes, we'll be ready, so to speak, to greet him? How much do we love the Chofetz Chaim? The Chofetz Chaim, for all those around the world, highly suggest to read the great works of the Chofetz Chaim, to read the words of the great Chofetz Chaim, specifically, if humanity wants to improve themselves, to learn Shmiras HaLashon, to learn the great Sefer, the great holy book on guarding one's tongue. That book is essentially how to use speech in a holy way. how to use speech in a way that will elevate. And famously, when they came to see the Chofetz Chaim, people wanted to travel. They heard that he had this great book on guarding one's speech, on making your speech holy. So there were people that traveled all across Europe to come see the Chofetz Chaim. He was in Poland. And they thought that, they looked at his book and, there's so much that you can't say. There's so many things that are considered evil speech. You really shouldn't be saying them. And they came to the Chofetz Chaim and they thought he probably just sits all day quietly. He doesn't want to say anything because maybe he'll say something that will insult somebody. Maybe he'll say something that would be harmful speech. The Torah forbids saying evil things. And all of a sudden they came to the Chofetz Chaim and he was with tons of people. He said, Shalom Aleichem. He's talking and schmoozing and talking to people about their life and their families and their work and what's going on with this and how's this business opportunity going for you. And they saw him and he was just talking nonstop. And they said, how do you talk? Your book there's so many laws of speech. He says, you don't understand. Until you read my book, you can't talk. But I know my Sefer. I read it, so I talk all day. I know what you can say. And we know that the second Beis HaMikdash was destroyed because that our speech, Lashon Hara, was not holy. So are we working these days? Are we working these days on perfecting speech? Are we working these days on perfecting the way that we speak? That we should speak in a way that is becoming of our human stature? Are we using our speech in a way that builds? That builds, because remember what they told you guys in the playground? Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt you. It's a lie. They lied to you. That is the most anti-Torah sentiment. Words are powerful. Words either build or destroy worlds. Words are very, very powerful. They cut much deeper than somebody with a stick. A word is very powerful. Don't hit the guy in the playground either. But make sure that you're careful with your speech. And Hashem is going to talk to us about our speech when we get up to Shemaim. Our speech is going to be a major part of the discussion of how did you use your speech up in heaven. Did you use it for holy things? And a person should do a little bit of like a self-audit. How well did I use my speech today? Did I speak words of holiness today? Before you go to bed tonight, think. Of all the words that I spoke today, how many of those words were words that were building? How many of those words were words that were positive? And how many of those words were negative, were hateful?
Abracadabra.
That's right. The world likes an idea that they talk about, like when a magician does something, he says abracadabra, and a rabbit from a hat. So abracadabra, if you break it down into the Hebrew letters, abara, abra, I will create, kadabra, according to what I say. Because my creation, my speech is creating worlds. You're creating worlds through your speech. So imagine if you start speaking positively. Imagine if you start speaking in a way that builds human beings up. Did you ever have somebody that gave you a good word and you're feeling a bit down? How much strength did that give you? How much did that make you feel so good about yourself? It's so uplifting when somebody speaks a good word. And therefore, during these times, as we're getting ready, mamish, for Mashiach, and we want Mashiach to come, we want it to be that we're ready, that the party is set, that the Shulchan Aruch, everything is set, and the Mapan, and the Ramah, everything is all set. The table is nicely set. We are ready, mamish, for Mashiach to come, because we've done the work, and we've worked on our speech. It's definitely one of the things that affect people the most when they come to yeshiva, I think. They come into an environment, and people are trying to speak in a clean and befitting way. All of a sudden, they go somewhere else, and they hear somebody say a curse word, and they're like, ooh, bro, it hurts. Because you become sensitized to using speech in a positive way. And this is a message that we have for all of humanity. A message that is for the whole world, is to use speech in a positive way. Use speech in a way that's going to build human beings. Use speech about yourself, to speak your own self-talk, that you speak about yourself in a positive way, and not to have negative self-talk. Because when you start cleaning up the speech on the outside, your brain starts cleaning up also. It goes both ways. If your brain is clean, your speech will be clean. But if you could start cleaning up your speech, it will start cleaning up the brain also. They go both directions. And therefore be careful of this. You'll notice the Torah does not have any not clean words. That's something that the Torah mentions explicitly, that it has only clean languaging in the Torah. It's called Lashon Naki, clean languaging. That am I using my speech to build? Speech is what builds the Beis HaMikdash. Shi'abana Beis HaMikdash. We say that when we no longer have certain mitzvahs, so how do we do the mitzvahs? How many mitzvahs do we have? 613. How many can we still do?
613. Well, 270. But like by reading them and saying them, like.
Very good. So really we have Taryag mitzvahs. But nowadays we only have 270, practically. And of course that is alluded to, Ani Yeshena V'li Bi'er. Like King Solomon, the son of David HaMelech, Shloimeh HaMelech says that Ani Yeshena V'li Bi'er. I'm sleeping. Ani Yeshena, I'm sleeping. That the exile has put us to sleep a little bit. But Libi, but my heart is air. My heart air is ayin reish, means awake. My heart is awake. And ayin reish is the numerical value, the gematria. Ayin is 70, reish is 200. But my heart is awake with 270 mitzvahs. This is what I could do in my awake state. But yes, Yosef, your answer that we could still do the 613 is correct. Because when you learn the Torah and you speak out and you enunciate the words of Torah that pertain to the rest of Taryag, it's like you're doing it. Nishlama parim sfaseinu. That even though we can no longer bring the Tamid Shel Shacha and the Tamid Shel Ben Arbaim, when you say the Shnei Tamidim, that's why I highly advocate Sfaradi Shacharit, Rabotai, or Ashkenazi Shacharit,